Good day everyone and welcome back. My name is 99 Destroyer and today, well, we're going to be talking about some of the info that's come in the latest dev blog for World Warships. Now, what is this dev blog about? It's about support carriers, and they've just been announced for their new conceptual test that Wargaming is going to be running internally. So, just in the background, and I'll put this quick disclaimer out there, obviously anything here is my thoughts and initial opinions of this, so please, just understand that. Obviously all of this stuff is completely subject to change according to Wargaming, so what we may see, if it does come to the live server, it could be something completely and utterly different from what we currently see. Background B-roll footage here is just me playing some of the USS United States, because, hey, just trying to play around with some of the super carriers since their latest re-implementation. Anyways, with that out the way, and obviously don't expect anything stellar out of me in terms of carry gameplay, but with that out of the way, let's have a quick chat about this new support carriers. Now, what do I think about carriers and what's my stance on carriers, just so everyone is fully aware? I am someone who, with this particular period in history, I'm very, very interested and keen to see as many different ship types and involved in this game as possible. So, personally, I'm okay with having carriers, submarines in this game. However, keep in mind, I do understand there is significant issues with the classes. And for example, I feel submarines would be much better relegated to, say, operations. That's a different topic for a different video. And there's other issues with CVs that I think really do need to be addressed, but obviously can't really do that at the moment. Anyways, focusing now back on to the support carriers that Wargaming has announced. Support carriers, great, could add an element of teamwork that we currently don't see with these CVs, although we possibly could. But let's just see what Wargaming has to exactly say about these new upcoming CVs. So, they would enter the game as an alternative tech tree branches to the existing strike carriers, and they've got special armaments and consumables. Okay, that's fine. And these carriers would be starting from tier 6, and they'd be at each of the even tiers, so like what we have here, they'd be at tier 6, tier 8, tier 10, right? Keep that in mind. Now, this next part I'm going to read through, and I'll put this up on the screen for people to see. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with the direction they want to go entirely with this, and you'll see why very, very shortly. All support carriers are equipped with squadrons armed with special stun bombs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Stun bombs. Now, for those who don't know, I myself am a World of Tanks ANZ community contributor, so I have my fair share of dealing with stun in that game from artillery. How artillery works in World of Tanks is, in a way, it's kind of similar to carriers in World of Warships, where you have your base, your hull, for example, in ships, or your main tank in World of Tanks. You have that as an indirect fire support vehicle, essentially. So for World of Tanks, you're lobbing shells across the map, trying to assist your allies doing damage, stunning your opponents, and just trying to, well, obviously take them down with your team as best as possible. The way stunning works in that game is you hit an enemy vehicle, and depending on how much damage you hit them for, whether you penetrate the vehicle or not, how close to the target you hit it or missed it even, will have a certain stun duration, and the maximum, I think it's like 30 seconds or something that you have to put it up with it for. And what that does is it's a 25% crew reduction in performance, okay? That's what happens during that time period. Now, can you do anything about that stun? Yes, you've got your med kit as a consumable, and you can just use that to remove the stun effect if you want it to be gone instantly, which is perfectly fine. There is issues with that, I understand. However, it's better than not having anything to do with it whatsoever. Now, let's keep reading through what World of Warships has to offer in terms of stun. The main task of these ships in battle is to support their allies. In the current concept, they are especially effective at assisting ships that are good at setting fires and causing floods. Stun bombs deal little to no damage on impact and have a very low chance of setting fires. When they hit an enemy ship, stun bombs will temporarily block the usage of certain consumables by said ship, such as the damage control party, defensive AA fire, or smoke generator. The amount of time the consumables are disabled depends on the number of bombs that hit, ranging from just a few seconds if only one bomb hits, to several minutes. Yes, I said that correctly, several minutes in the rare case where all bombs in the drop land on target.
Or gaming. Oh, that's...
Yeah, that is... wow. I am really, quite thoroughly, really frustrated by that. I'm just a bit of loss for words here in this scenario here, right? Stun bombs will block the usage of consumables such as, and keep in mind the word such as here, so that could potentially include here the being unable to use your heal, for example, going on later. You could not be able to use your engine boost, you could not, like, all of these things. Holy jeez. Imagine, say you're in the Preußen, which came in one of the latest updates, right? Big German behemoth of a battleship, and you're getting set on fire from enemy ships, or you're getting pinged by submarine. That's now back in testing, by the way. You're getting pinged by a submarine, or you're getting set on fire by enemy ships. Enemy support carrier comes in, and because your ship is so big, you're more than likely going to have a lot of bombs hit you on, well, just hit you in general. So what's going to happen then? Goodbye damage control party, goodbye heal for several minutes, get perma-fired, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it because your damage control is blocked, you're constantly burning down, you've got nothing to even mitigate the damage because your heal is also blocked as well. Like, holy jeez. What is this? Already, this is being brutally honest here, so if by some miracle somebody from Wargaming does see this, it is an absolutely terrible idea to implement it this way, or even just stun bombs whatsoever, because stun is such an unfair, unfun mechanic for all those involved. It really is so incredibly unfun. Now, I'll just continue on for a little bit and then I'll come back to this. But anyways, fire and flood damage done to a ship under the effect of stun bombs, regardless of which ship causes the status effect, will also count as damage done. The statistics of the support carrier player. Fine, that's getting them experience, okay? Sure. Be nice to see stuff like that done for spotting for destroyers, tanking in battleships, so like how much damage you're actually mitigating. That'd be nice to see stuff like that as well. But we'll just see. Now, these support squadrons are also equipped with special consumables to protect allied ships. Aerial smoke screen can be deployed, which works similarly to the smoke generator consumable present on some surface ships. Great, that one's actually a historical one. That seems pretty interesting. I like that. That does actually offer some tactical viability for support carriers. You're helping your team out in a meaningful way, and it's not really hurting anybody per se. You setting a smoke screen, anybody can do that. It's like a destroyer running in front. However, you're just doing that with your planes, allowing, say, your destroyer to continue spotting, whatever that may be. The other one here, chaff can now be dropped to hinder or nullify the effects of a surveillance radar consumable usage. If any ship enters a chaffed area with the surveillance radar consumable already active, the radar will immediately stop working and begin its cooldown phase. And if ship is inside the chaffed area when enemy surveillance radar is active, it will take longer than usual for it to become visible to the rest of the radar ship's team. Now, what does that mean? Just trying to simplify that down a bit. Say there's an enemy, there's a friendly Des Moines, there's an enemy Des Moines and you have a friendly Shimikaze. The Des Moines, he goes ahead, he pops his radar. If you fly on top of him and you pop chaff over him, his radar consumable will immediately go into a cooldown period. And he can't use that again for whatever the cooldown duration is. if you drop that chaff instead over your friendly Shimikaze, it'll take longer for the Shimikaze to be spotted to the rest of the Des Moines team. So that's how they're wanting to work that. Now, I'm okay with that. It definitely can be refined. I don't think the chaff should instantly put the consumable on cooldown. Maybe it goes as much as, say, halving the active duration of the Des Moines. That's fine. Of the Des Moines radar. I think that's a better implementation of that, but that's just me. That is definitely something that I think is actually could be really quite cool to have in the game, and that obviously is helping support your allies in a meaningful way, and it's not actually being too too negative on the enemy team. So that would be something cool. It just needs to be refined, in my opinion, from what we currently have. Going back to the stun bombs, it is and this is me being really quite harsh here, because I'm being harsh because I love this game and I want the best for it. The stun bombs are absolutely atrocious and they should not be introduced. Yes, I'm gonna put it as simply as that. They should not be introduced, because who has fun with that? Who really has any kind of enjoyment or fun out of that? It really isn't. It really is a terrible system to implement, because the amount of just griefing, the amount of that can be done with that, it's just such a unfun, unfair mechanic. Because unless they plan, like, worst case scenario here, right? They do still try to implement it, but they give you a special consumable to remove the stun effect. Okay, fine, whatever. But the thing at the moment is, in this current day and age, you really need to have at least your damage control party as available as you often can. In this meta and world of warships, where HE spam is quite prolific, the amount of torpedoes that are lobbed by enemy ships, especially, say, we've also just recently got the new Pan-Asian cruisers, Jinan being able to spit out, say, 40 torpedoes at any given moment with the reload booster that has. Like, there is quite a lot of HE torpedo spam, and now we've got submarines back in where they're looking like they can obviously continue pinging. Obviously, there's issues of being able to deal with submarines. As I said, that's a topic for a different video. But you really need to have your damage control party available for you for those situations whenever needed. If you can't even use it to put out a fire or two, yeah, good luck. That's your game pretty much done for most part. And if the CV strikes you, disables your damage con, then he comes back for more and keeps disabling your damage con. What are you going to do? Like, ultimately, what are you going to do? And we'll go back to the example I used before. If you're in a priest, a massive ship like that, you don't have the greatest detection in the range. You've got such a large hull. All bombs are pretty much going to hit you if the CV is smart about it. What are you going to do? Ultimately, what counterplay do you have to stop getting this stun on you? There is none. At least in tanks, you at least have your med kit to at least instantly remove the stun. And if you do get stunned for an extended period of time, it's only 30 seconds. It's not several minutes of not having a heal, of not having a damage control party. And that's like practically game breaking in my opinion. If these support carriers with this kind of meta go into, say, the live server as of tomorrow with this current implementation, I guarantee you things will not turn out well for the game whatsoever. They will be abused the hell out of. And that's just not fun for anybody involved, unfortunately. Now, I really do appreciate, for those of you who have clicked on this video and just wanted to listen to me, this is a new type of content. If you guys do want to see me continue to read through these dev blogs and just give my thoughts, and just so you guys are aware of the information that's coming out of those, let me know. I'm more than happy to continue doing it if people actually do enjoy this. Otherwise, let me know if there's any more particular content you want to see, whether that be ship reviews, how to plays in 2022, because I have a couple of videos I did recently. Mods video that I showed for 2022 has actually done quite well. My top rank picks, that has actually gone pretty damn well as in addition to that. So let me know if there's more type of content along those lines that you guys do want to be seeing. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, well, or at least understood where I'm coming from and at least have got your own thoughts and opinions about this. If you do, please let me know what your thoughts are on this entire new support carriers close concept test. I for one would like to see support carriers, but this current implementation is not good whatsoever. They need to go back to the drawing board with this, and they do need to fix other issues that are relating to carriers, such as the sieving spawning. I would love to see that minimap spawning that they originally announced. I think it was last in December. I'd love to see that implementation come through, and just some other general fixes as well. Anyways, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks all.